Hello, good morning. Welcome, folks, to another date on This Morning. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. It's day number 32 into the Lenten season, so I greet everybody who is in it. Wish you well. Boko Haram, boring abductions and tedious commentary. Like it or not, we are all living in very interesting times, and these are times that will challenge men's souls. All right, just yesterday, a faction of Boko Haram released, initially we were told 76, now we can confirm it's 104 of the 110 abducted girls at Dapchi. Today we're looking beyond the release. We'll look at the abductions, which to me are becoming very tedious, and the commentary, which are becoming even more disturbing. This morning I have two gentlemen. Let me introduce in no particular order. A communications professional and, of course, opinion molder, Alhaji Hassan Abdulaziz Sani. I greet you, sir. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Hussein, and good morning, Nigerians.
All right, my colleague is here. Femi Akonde is a senior journalist here, and he's been to that part of the country.
Yeah, Dapchi.
Quickly, let's follow that. You know, expand, guide me, take me there and back.
Yes, I visited Dapchi just shortly after the abduction of more than 100 girls. And you know, yesterday morning I started getting calls from Dapchi. I got a call from the secretary of the Abducted Girls Parents Association. That's Dapchi Abducted Girls Parents Association, telling me that the girls have been returned, that most of them have been reunited with their parents. I got another call from one of them that was not in town, telling him that he just spoke with his daughter, and their daughters narrated their ordeal in the camp of the Boko Haram. There was also
spoke to the daughter, suggests that the daughter had a phone on her.
No, he spoke with her when after she returned home. She was at home,
okay.
So perhaps he used maybe the mom's phone or something, yes, to talk to the daughter, and they were very pleased with that. You know, they said the Boko Haram guys, or the Boko Haram terrorists, just drove into town the early hours of Wednesday and brought their daughters and returned the daughters to them. You know, it was a jubilant mood there. They saw the Boko Haram terrorists face to face. They even thanked them for returning their daughters, and the guys drove out of town again after returning their daughters to them. So I think it was ecstasy for the parents yesterday in Dapchi.
Yeah. There's an overhang, Alhaji. 5 of the girls were reported dead, you know, which is very sad. But it's not out of place, so we don't spend a lot more time curing the effect. Let's look at the cause. Boko Haram started from very humble beginnings, as I told you before we came on, in 2002, and then it became violent. And between 2002 and today, how many years have gone?
Yeah, it's a long time, quite okay.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, I don't see whatsoever metamorphose into a violent group or whatsoever as something that started on a humble ground. Because whatsoever, there must be a build-up to something. And let me take you down memory lane. Boko Haram is an offshoot of Metasine movement that started during the administration, civilian administration of former President Shehu Shagari. These people, the followers are very much around, and the dogmas are very much innate in them. So what we are seeing now is a build-up of Metasine, but much more in a sophisticated way. It's like militancy in Niger Delta, started by minor whatsoever vandalization of pipes and what have you, and metamorphosis into a monster.
Yeah.
Because what I'm seeing here,
which we have not quite tamed.
Thank you. Do you know why all these things are metamorphosing into much more sophisticated, kind of sophisticated terms is because of the intrusion of the elites into them. You can see
when you say, please be specific, political elite.
Political elites.
Yeah.
When we are talking of elites in Nigeria, we are referring to the political elites.
I wonder you to
because
qualify.
what we are seeing now is this. When you see the sophistication, can you compare the Boko Haram of today and Boko Haram of yesteryears when Metasini was the leader of the sect? No, the answer is no. But now what you are seeing now, you are seeing the handworks of the elites. You understand? Even the militants in the Niger Delta, the same thing. When you are seeing the sophisticated weapons, the military training involved, and the money being sunk into a bloodletting movement like that, you can easily conveniently conclude that the elites are into
something
it.
is fishy.
Elites are into it.
Yeah. Femi, and you are wondering, to what avail? Why would the elite provoke this crazy thing?
Well, as it
Political elite.
yes, as it seems now, they are using it to their own advantage because the government over time has shown that interest to always negotiate. The government has shown that willingness to bargain with these terrorists, no matter whose interest is manifested through their activities. So if the government negotiates with them once, it's already like an encouragement for them to do more. So over time, there have been backdoor payments, backdoor negotiations with this sect, be it from the Niger Delta or from like the insurgency we're having in the northeast. And this has also encouraged even more groups to come up because it's now seemed like a profitable venture for them. You go to a school, you abduct the girls, you know their parents will be distressed and they'll apply pressure on the government. And of course, the government will want to show a human face. And they know that they really, because as it appears, let me call it, using the use of force to rescue girls from abduction has not worked.
Femi, and a factionalized Boko Haram is much more dangerous, like a two-headed snake.
Yes, because another thing, when it happens, sometimes you really don't know who is responsible for what. But you know, like this latest abduction, it appears that the faction that abducted, the Al-Banawi faction that abducted these Dapchi girls are more accessible, I would say, not like the other faction, the faction that is brutish in his approach and really have bad all means of communication between him and, of course, the government and others. So that, I would say, is the problem because it's if there are fears again that another faction might break out if because they see that the Al-Banawi faction is beginning to thrive on these abduction, negotiations and everything. Another faction might just break out, go to another school, or just do something deadly again and get the government into talks with them.
He almost took it off my lips. Have we seen the last of abductions?
I don't think so. Why I say this is because the abduction is much more like a business venture now. And the abduction, the business into abduction started during the regime of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan when he delegated Kabiru Saminu Turaki, a minister of special duties, to negotiate. And
with terrorists?
With the terrorists, and they went up to Maiduguri, in which one of the members, just one member of the committee was swindled of up to about 80-something million naira. It's in the news all over. And only God knows the quantum of money given to that group. And you can see the connivance, even between the government forces and the Boko Haram. You don't even know who is who, because they are faceless, and the money can get swindled anyhow. You can see the interest of people in government. You can see the interest of people in Maiduguri. You can see the interest of the Boko Haram also. And it's an encouragement. You see, I look at it from 2 or 3 main angles. Boko Haram is multifaceted in the sense that you have the Kwanta. Those ones are the armed robbers.
Okay.
Most of them are foreigners from Chad, from Niger, from Cameroon.
Confirmed.
That came into Nigeria.
These are confirmed.
Yes, you understand. They came into Nigeria to rob people along the axis of northeast. That was
the border axis.
Not even the border axis. Inside.
Okay.
The Kwanta started even before Boko Haram. But now, all of these groups, the political assassins, the Kwanta, the real Boko Haram, are now operating under the guise of Boko Haram. People go and rob banks and be chanting Allahu Akbar. Can you juxtapose between Allahu Akbar and the robbery? They are 2 different things. But all of them now are under Boko Haram.
One of the girls, sorry, just to help the discussion, one of the girls confessed that these abductors spoke mostly Fulfulde and Arabic.
No, they spoke Kanuri and Arabic, not Fulfulde.
Okay.
Yes, I had it very well.
Okay, Kanuri and
Fulfulde.
Okay.
You see, people in that time.
Kanuri and Arabic.
And Arabic.
Not
Fulfulde.
Okay.
You understand? Well, you see, the issue now is this. Even the abduction.
What does that tell me?
It tells me that the foot soldiers,
the
foot soldiers are the indigents of that axis.
Yeah.
The indigents, the Kanuri and other people around that axis. That suggests that. That one is no doubt about it. I asked a journalist friend of mine when the Boko Haram just started. I asked him. I called him. I said, my friend, he was in Maiduguri then. I asked him, I said, please, this issue of we the blacks bombing ourselves, we the blacks killing ourselves, is never in our culture. Please, can you please tell me? Because these are the cultures that are associated with Arabs. And we are not Arabs. Why, just of a sudden, we developed into this kind of a monster?
Yeah.
Do you understand? He told me, he said, look, let me be frank with you. You are my friend. The people, Boko Haram is populated by the indigenes of Maiduguri. I'm telling you this because I am on the ground. You understand? And it has to do with the poverty of mind. Poverty of mind. When somebody is using religion to misdirect you, if you are well learned in the religious doctrine, there's no way anybody can come over and mislead you.
Yeah.
But the issue has to do with the poverty of mind, the real poverty, the economic poverty, and lack of proper upbringing, the orientation.
And poverty of the mind is the worst form
is the
of
worst
poverty.
form.
So sorry, Femi, at this point, I cannot but pry into source of funding for Boko Haram. If you cut it like cutting a blood supply to a particular vein in the body, something will give. Sure. So sources of funding.
Well, their major source of funding has been, I would say, the government. You know, they're also involved in robbery and some kind of other kidnappings, not the major ones. There are some that are not even reported. The ones that get global attention are the ones like the Chibok girls abduction, that of the Dapchi girls, that of the oil workers that are going for oil exploration. There are other kidnappings they do of even some foreign nationals, and they get ransom for it. So that has been their major source of funding. But of course, the big or the cash cow has been the government funding when they carry out this kind of large-scale abductions. So I would say the government also is aiding the sophistication of this group, because when you give them money, this kind of form, they become sophisticated. They also get more equipment. They are beginning to even become more sophisticated than the Nigerian army, because they are more funded. Look at the monies paid to them to ransom. If you look at the monies that even go to the Nigerian army and what amount of that money even trickles down, that's another question. So it appears this group is, if care is not taken, would discover that the Boko Haram army, if it's not properly checked now, would one day overrun the Nigerian army.
Like it or not, the viewer must understand we're living in very interesting times, times of grave danger and uncertainty. But then, Alhaji Sani, let's look at a prolonged insurgency. And if it stays in Nigeria, will be at par with Somalia, Afghanistan, and parts of Pakistan. So we are damned, except something is done now.
Yes. Security is a business of all. It's a business of all. And the way to go about it is for us to be patriotic, all of us. What happened to one, we should consider it as happening to one, happening to all. In the sense that the kidnapping started from Niger Delta, from Port Harcourt. We knew. But the issue now is this. I said in the forum, I said, look, we regarded the kidnapping in Niger Delta as their problem. We don't consider it as our collective problem. And now, kidnapping...
They say he who feels it knows it.
And kidnapping now is now a household name in the whole of Nigeria. If you go to the northern Nigeria...
Big business.
Look, if you go to northern Nigeria, the threat is there all over. On that just slight opportunity, you get kidnapped. On that slight opportunity, they demanded for huge amount of money. People pay silently. You see, I disagree with the fact that government is, lubricating the vehicle of abduction. No. You know, there was an abduction before the government set in, because the payment of ransom was due largely to the pressure by you and me.
Yeah.
You understand? Because whatsoever we are doing, we need to be objective, we need to be balanced.
Which brings me to commentary. The commentary that greeted the release of these girls.
The issue is this. Buhari is very, very honest in fighting insurgency. But is there any way you can walk, you can cry more than the bereaved? The answer is no. Do you know why? You need the cooperation of people of Maiduguri, Yobe, Aziz, to provide you with intelligence information.
Yeah.
These people are from them. Even if we have outsiders, we have foreigners coming in, there must be a foot soldier.
There's a link.
There must be a foot soldier, an indigene. Nobody there, whenever you see armed robbery, you see kidnapping, you see whatsoever. You understand? If you look outside, you are just deceiving yourself. Look inward, you get to see the problem. Let me start an example to you. When the mother of a former finance minister was kidnapped, the police looked inward and they found out that it was her guard that gave her out to the kidnappers.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about foreign invasions, there must be internal conspiracy.
That's it.
By our people. You understand? Let these people come out. Even the chief of army staff said it one time. He said, look, the elites in Maiduguri are not helping matters in fighting Boko Haram. He said it. Because it is when people cooperate with you, that is when you'll be able to get it. You can deploy the whole army of this world into Maiduguri, but you, an army officer or whosoever deployed there, is not an indigene. He knew nobody.
All right.
They will even end up shooting wrong people instead of the real culprits.
So we are dealing with a terror here, a monster.
We are dealing with a monster aided by us.
By us.
The Nigerians.
Femi, let's expand this logic now and talk about the tedious commentary. No less a person than the governor of a state, in this case, Ekiti State, Governor Fayose, insists the abduction was an arrangee and the release was even a more tight arrangee. Such a commentary coming from such a personality, an opinion molder, is bound to have its effect.
That's correct.
There are people who would believe him.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who believe what he's saying, and that is because even the people that should tell us the true state of things are being economical with the truth. And if you look at the way the abduction happened, it's sometimes, like some people are saying that how would an abduction of that kind of large-scale abduction happen without getting the attention of the military?
As it happened at Chibok.
Yes, as it happened at Chibok. Because if you look at the school, the Government Girls Science and Technical College in Dapchi, it's just less than 300 meters away from a police station. You understand? And there are policemen there. It's a functional police station. And people are wondering if, I spoke to one of the parents and he said, if they had 2 gunmen that engaged the terrorists, that would have distracted them from the mission and would have given ample time to the girls to escape. So there are so many conspiracy theories, but we really can't substantiate some of them. Of course, Governor Fayose would say what he wants to say, but we really can't substantiate most of these things he's saying. And again, the information from the government was very sketchy. At the time the abduction happened, information management was poor. They told us that some people were saying that, okay, the girls have been rescued. Some people said 70-something girls were abducted, 90-something girls. It took 1 week after the abduction before an authentic list of the missing girls was provided, was made public. Of course, and it took the efforts of the parents. It was self-help. When they discovered that they were not getting help from anywhere, they had to form an association to put themselves together, write the names of the abducted girls. Their own list was 107 missing girls before, and the federal government, a few days later, came out with its own list of 110. So that problem has been that lack of communication, that channel of communication is faulty. People really want to know what is going on. If you don't tell them what is going on, then they will believe anything. They can believe what Governor Fayose is saying.
And this commentary will fly all over the place.
Of course.
Alhaji Sani, a commentary at a time like this,
you know,
especially from whatever quarter, must be guarded.
You know what's happening? The commentary will remain unguarded as far as there's insufficient information from the formal channels. It's open. Anybody can say, we are in democracy. Remember, where millions of thoughts are free to contest in a free market of ideas. And remember, Fayose belongs to the opposition with his followership from a geographical area of this country. We knew whenever he sneezes, some people catch cold. But we knew him. He said things the way he likes it. But whatsoever he said, a lot of people, some people will subscribe to him, and people like us will never subscribe to him because we knew from the angle he is coming from. He wanted to be heard. No problem about that. That's what is really happening. But this issue of abduction of Dapchi girls, I don't think it's an RNG, from my own opinion. Because first of all, when people were busy talking, I kept quiet. Do you know why I kept quiet?
But you heard him. You heard Femi. Femi said it appears the route to the abduction was clear.
But do you know what? Do you know what's happening? You see, Boko Haram are much more sophisticated than the policemen.
That's correct.
Over there. So when there's a superior power, firepower, how do you expect police to do anything? There's nothing they can do. These are the ragtag armies that even invaded army barracks. You understand? Fortified army barracks. They infiltrated them. They fought them. They carted away many things. The same Boko Haram invaded the Mopol training camp. You understand? In Goza.
Goza, yeah.
And you know what training camp means? meant to security. You have a lot of things in the training camp where they train all the mopoles in Nigeria. They invaded the place. It was under Boko Haram over 6-7 months. And
are we talking silently about a conspiracy here?
No, no conspiracy. The issue is this. These guys are well armed. You see, the conspiracy started during the Jonathan era. When money was budgeted, they see it as a business. Jonathan administration, I can forgive him, but people around him are not fair to Nigeria because money was budgeted.
No, you can take, come on, Boko Haram, you can trace back to 2002.
No.
It became violent in 2009.
You know
Don't
what?
tell me no. It's not about Jonathan or not Jonathan. I'm saying it started from humble beginnings. So what did we do until it became this Frankenstein?
Look, no matter what, I have said it earlier to you. I said, Mr. Hussein, no matter, it's never humble. That beginning is never humble.
Okay.
Because there was this historical antecedents of the emergence of Boko Haram right from it in a movement during the regime of former President Shehu Shagari. You understand?
Yeah, but it became silent after Metasina was killed.
It was silent.
So over time, what happened?
It was silence. It was silence. It was much more a silence of a graveyard, in the sense that people kept silent, but the doctrine is nourishing. You understand? Flourishing among people. You understand? And ever ready to wreak havoc. And you are telling me these people started from humble beginning? No. I can say it emphatically that it is no. It's never a humble beginning.
No, I took you to that route because you talked about, hold on, you talked about the Jonathan government. I'm saying it predates the Jonathan administration.
We knew, but do you know what?
Yeah.
Somebody oiled the wheel of violence. You should be able to know when somebody came in, when it became much more deadly. You understand? You can easily know the time. You understand? And the date.
Who will know that?
We. Do you know why?
You.
Do you know why?
No.
Do you know why? Do you know why I said this? During the Jonathan administration, it became a business to security chiefs, political bigwigs. It became a source of funding, a source of enrichment.
But remember that Jonathan's boss, the late Aradua, started the amnesty thing, okay?
No, he started the amnesty for the Niger Delta.
Okay.
Not for Boko Haram.
Okay, all right.
Let me put it in its proper perspectives. Former late President Umar Musa Aradua granted amnesty to militants. And that one brought a kind of achievement.
But it opened a window.
No. The issue is this. You see, Boko Haram and militancy in the Niger Delta, there are a little bit difference. Do you know why? Some people held on tenaciously to a dogmas. These ones, they are fighting over the resources, over the unequal and unjust relations.
I don't think we need a dictionary here. Alhaji Sani, an insurgency and a militancy are one and the same thing. It's a matter of definition. Femi, let me get back to you. It is talking about a dogma. In the Northeast, as indeed across the North, we have talked about this put the people down syndrome. Don't send the child to school and all that. So you're looking at governments over time. Schooling in the North. You think it's also a part of this? Where you have the Almajiris from northwest to northeast and so on. Schooling, education.
A report by UNICEF was released that says Nigeria has the largest number of children out of school. And if you look at statistics, most of these children are in the North. That is why these ideology or this dogma that he is talking about has successfully been planted in the minds of these people. Sometimes you go to religious houses there with no, if you go to religious houses there, you listen to the kind of message handed down to them. Those are messages of hate, messages of violence. I was once in the north and I listened to a message handed down by a religious leader saying that if you have a neighbor that doesn't belong to your own faith, you don't have to greet him. You don't have to say good morning to him. There's no blessing attached to it. So these kind of issues begin to form or shape the mind of those religious devotees. They begin to know that the person from the other faith is not
not a friend.
Yeah, not a friend, and not maybe a creation of God like me, and like anything I do to him does not count, and even God would appreciate me for that. So I think if it's just beyond the military or the using force to tackle this now. It's like an ideological warfare, and I don't really know how prepared or how well equipped the military is for that kind of warfare. They have to find a way of getting to the people and working on.
Alhaji Sani here will tell you that's not Islamic. He will.
Well, it's not about Islamic or Christian.
No,
I think both faiths are guilty of that.
These messages we are talking about, there's no faith that says, no, we'll take a break and come back. Alhaji, quite a lot of time to speak in. All right, then, let's go on this break and return, but please don't go away. All right, then, welcome back. Don't forget Boko Haram, tedious abductions, and of course, boring commentary. I have Alhaji Abdulaziz Sani here and my colleague Femi Akonde. Yeah, Alhaji, just before the break, when the break was on, we talked about it. Religious leaders must begin to teach a new way across board, be it Christianity or Islam, don't you think?
Yes. The real issue is this. It has to do with the way people came up with their own knowledge. And it has to do with their own state of mind. You can decide to misinterpret the Bible. You can decide to misinterpret the Holy Quran for your own selfish interest. It is left for the people, to the listeners, to the devotees, to differentiate between the grain and the chaff.
When the devotees are largely illiterate, what do you do?
The issue is this. Even in the churches, you see them.
Yeah.
I have many Christian friends.
I'm one of them.
They always refer to, my pastor said this, my pastor said that. They don't normally refer to the Bible. They are referring to the expression of their pastors.
And Alhaji Sani said ditto with the, okay.
The same thing applies to our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Okay.
You see, two people brought a kind of revolution, positive revolution, to northern Nigeria. Politically, Mala Aminu Kano, of blessed memory, and Sheikh Mala Abubakar Gumi.
Religiously.
Do you know why?
How?
Abubakar Gumi started by telling people that, look, go back to school, learn and digest. And he simplifies it. A lot of things that were un-Islamic, Mala Abubakar Gumi was able, in his own way, fantastic way, to separate them from Islam. The same thing that is happening in Christianity. You will see people expressing their own myopic interest, not really the doctrine of Jesus Christ. We knew.
Sani, you may have forgotten that the same Abubakar Gumi, bless his soul, dropped a bomb when he said years ago, Christianity is nothing. You remember there was a crazy debate.
I don't know.
But I remember. But
I don't know about that. But you know what?
We are talking about commentary that are very tedious.
You know what? Let me tell you one thing.
Commentary at a time like this.
You know what?
Yeah.
You aggregate people. You understand? You apportion marks to them. You understand?
Yes. Sorry, I have a reverend gentleman. Dominic is here. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir.
Good morning, you are panelists.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Dominic.
John, the problem we are facing today about Boko Haram have taken a new dimension. And the government of today or yesterday have not handled things well. Just have anybody remember that they said that they released 105 girls? One was kept back because he's a Christian. And if anybody had me yesterday, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are Christians. Christians do not fight for God. God fight for us. If government could reduce that kind of praise, what are they going to do? I thought that information could be well managed. For you to say you release 105 girls because they're Muslims, and you kept one because he's a Christian, it's like to touch our now. We're not going to fight either issue. God will take control of that. Because let me tell you this, a story. You remember a young man called Akaloka years ago, who killed in the north, I don't want to mention Pasabi, and the head was taken around the market because he misused Quran. And the elder kept quiet, and the government kept quiet. Today, where are we? Now we are killing our brothers because of religion. The issue is here. There's nothing like Boko Haram. The problem in Nigeria is the government's attitude to crime in this nation. Is it kidnapping? Is it armed robbery? Is it stealing? Our attitude to issues is the problem.
Yeah,
Look at what happened in America that day.
Yeah.
A young boy went to school to shoot. And when he shot his school, the government has to hold some responsibility. Nobody is held responsible for anything happening in Nigeria.
Yeah,
The police have to help all of them.
Dominic, that's why the title for our discussion this morning was carefully worded. The commentary is tedious, no less so abductions.
Yes,
You are a preacher of the word. It depends on what you tell your congregants. It's important.
You can hear me. I said that. If you can hear me now, I said that when they said it, can you hear me?
You are on. Let's go.
I said, when they said that these 105 children, Muslims, and kept one Christian, and I'm saying the Christian community.
You and I are not there. Dominic, you and I are not there. We are dealing with insurgents. Dominic, don't let us have. We must not have a bout on air. We are dealing with insurgents. Not you are not talking about armed robbers. Insurgents. I'm sorry.
Just couldn't hear me. I'm talking about facts from government information.
Okay, Dominic.
I'm talking about facts here.
Don't.
105 students were released, according to them, and one was
Dominic, Dominic, I don't know what your source of information is because it didn't come from government. Dominic, so what are we? Dominic, we must do something about an information like that. You are a man of God, so at a time like this, don't you think your commentary is important? Thank you. Yeah, it's. Femi, we can't play these things down.
Really can't
the commentary we make at a time like this is very important.
We can't substantiate that. We know we had the figures from the government. Even we also had the parents talk. We asked them. They said they really can't authenticate that information. At a time like this, like we talked about, he said formal channel of communication.
Yeah.
They have not, I would say they have not really done a good job in managing information.
Yeah.
They leave it open for people to push different narratives out there.
To feast
on.
Yes,
yeah. that's why the polity is overheated.
Yeah. Yakub from Dokpemo, I welcome you. Welcome, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I greet you. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ajay.
Good morning, Mr. Ajay.
Good morning to Akane.
Morning, sir.
Let me begin by saying that God Almighty Allah will never forgive people that make us in this kind of situation. Why am I saying that? You see, let me just cast our mind back. We all remember Muhammad Yusuf, that the founder of this sect. The question still remains today: how this guy got arrested by military and then over to the police, and then the guy was killed. Who killed this guy? It has not been known to every citizen of this country. Why the guy got killed, it has never been known to us. Do you think that when that guy is alive, if that guy was not killed by now, I think this Boko Haram will not go to this length because it was started by some people for certain reason not carry arms. And then let us now remember when former President Obasanjo went to Maiduguri and had a meeting with these people. And then they give Obasanjo some certain things that the government needs to do before they can be able to come down to the government issues. Obasanjo handed over this report to former government, which is government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. And there's nothing has been done to it. Now, we find ourselves in this part of station. There's a lot of policy here. And then this information that I quite disagree with my friend, that the information that is given us this morning, any information that you read on social media, I don't think we should be taking it serious sometimes because they always write for certain things that they cannot be able to be verified. Because we are dealing with a serious issue here. These people, I learned that the people have dropped almost 11 buses to that chief town and dropped all this. And that's how some people say that, where is this? Where is this? It could be in the agreement that when these guys are brought into the adoption, you should withdraw all your military. And then some people are not telling us that the military should be able to catch up with them and all that. See, I just put those for our military. Some of them have been laying their life for this cause.
Yeah.
They have families, they have children, they have wives. We should encourage them.
Thank you.
And then the Nigerian government, they have already done well in this kind of situation.
Many thanks. Many thanks, Yakub. Many thanks. We can't run away from it, gentlemen. The commentary that will be coming, well, if we go back, Reverend Dominic said, asked repeatedly, what about the girl, the girl who supposedly refused to become an apostate and she's being kept? That's a commentary that's not been verified, but as Yakub had said, it's in the social media.
You see, even a principal beneficiary of social media, that was the former President of the United States of America, Barack Obama, affirmed to the hearing of everybody that social media divides people than even uniting them. He said it to the hearing of all.
That the social media will divide people.
Divides people, not that will divide people. Divides people, divides them. Okay. Disunite people than uniting them.
Okay.
You understand? And you
let me take a caller here.
Okay.
A viewer. George, you are here. Good morning. How do you do?
I'm fine, Citizen Jones. Good morning to everybody there.
Good morning, Mr. George.
Citizen Jones, you have appropriately captioned the discussion that the commentary are boring. Those people who are saying that the government should not have negotiated, they are not telling us what the government should have done. Under the circumstance, there is no better alternative to the government than to negotiate. All other options will have either amounted to putting the lives of the girls in danger by going with military might to bomb or to do whatever to recover the girls. They are not telling us what is the alternative. Why is everything being politicized in this country? The governor of the state has already been appropriately answered by Elijah Hassan. I don't want to go into that. But the question is, if you want to say something, have we lost our humanity? This morning, I heard it from people in one of the programs blaming the government for bringing the guns back. They were talking about the logistics of how the Boko Haram people came to drop and then military people were not around. Did they expect that when the Boko Haram people were coming to drop the girls, that the military should be shooting them together with the girls? There was an arrangement to that effect. I think the girls coming back should be primary in the hearts of people. Everything, they want to politicize it. The PDP is issuing statements. Since 2014, hundreds of girls got missing under their watch. It was this government that came to bring back some of them. The same people who are trying to come back now are telling us it is even wrong to bring children back home. I don't know where we're going in this country, Citizen Jones.
All right. We'll get there. Very tedious commentary, Femi, we are talking about.
Yeah.
Because all three of us here are opinion leaders. When we leave here, you get somewhere, you drop a line or two regarding this abduction. Yeah. Whatever you say is important.
Sure. Yeah, I think one thing that I would say some people found that was, of course, like most of the callers have said, and we all agree here, that we don't know the terms of negotiations between the government or whoever negotiated the release of the girl. But you know, to me, I personally feel that...
That's beyond what the Minister of Information said. He said categorically it was unconditional.
Unconditional release.
Yeah.
But you know, allowing the terrorists coming to town, you know, they greeted the people, and it's psychologically, people may begin to have faith in those terrorists, because we saw how they cheered, and they even with their videos, pictures of them waving at the terrorists. I would have thought, I don't have a problem with securing, negotiating the freedom of those girls, but I would personally, in my own opinion, I would have preferred maybe doing an exchange somewhere, and then let's have government bring those girls in, so that we're like, yes, this is what our government has done, not the terrorists coming to hand them over back to the
Let me take you and Sonny to Arochukwu, where Okorafor is waiting. Okorafor, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, our guests in the studio. Honestly speaking, all these reactions from different angles does not hold water. Our prayer is for the remaining guests to come back healthy. All this government, it's not necessary. The important thing is that our guests are back. We give God the glory. But the question is this. All these guests they took, we don't know whether those boys must have indoctrinated them for one thing or another. So there is need for proper counseling. There is need to examine them properly. We take medical life aside. But the important thing is that to sit down one by one. Let us bring experts that will do what? Interact with those guests one by one in a one-room discussion, one-on-one. This is what we've got. At the end of the day, so that we will not get another problem ahead. But we pray that something did not happen. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Yeah, we go to Reverend Dominic again. He said one of the girls is not released because she refused to deny her Christian faith. Good, we grant that. But is it telling me that the 104-5 of them that are back are Muslims already? Is that what he's telling me? Is it easy to believe?
That is the question.
Difficult to believe that.
That is the question Reverend Dominic should answer. You see, let me tell you one thing. In Islam, I'm now going to talk to you based on Islamic fundamentals.
You are a practicing Muslim, yeah.
You see, in Islam, no compulsion. Because there was a verse there, Lakum dinikum waliyad din. Our religion belongs to us, theirs belong to them. So there was a treaty of Hudaybiyah during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There was a treaty. You understand? That means there is a tolerance. Religion, Islam is a religion of tolerance. People don't know. You understand?
No, don't believe.
Because
people don't believe.
No. The issue is this. People tag all Muslims as violent, as terrorists, as this, as that. It's not like that. A lot of Islamic scholars were preaching against all this. You see, Islam is a religion of peace. You don't just.
But where is this extremism coming from?
You see, the extremism is because of misinformation.
Okay,
people don't get it right.
We'll come back to that. Benga is in Abuja. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
I greet you, sir.
And good morning, Akwande and Alhaji Azam.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, you see, this issue, we should look at it in a holistic way. Those who are coming up to say that this is an RNG, this is scam, this is something, they should know that they are speaking to the whole Nigeria, and this is getting to the parents. And this is more hurtful. And I'm surprised it's coming from a party that wants to come to power, a party that claims the largest party in Africa. You see, they said they did not believe that the Chibok girl was kidnapped, that it was done to make them lose government, that it was an RNG. When these girls were kidnapped now, they said they believe it, that the government claimed to have overcome Boko Haram, defeated it, that while they are deceiving the nation, that it has shown when these girls were kidnapped. 3 weeks later, these girls were rescued. They changed their narration again, that now that it's a scam, they should know that this cannot get anywhere, because those 5 children, their parents, and those who died, their parents, hearing this. How can you say government will use the life of 5 children to play games, to play politics? It's hurting. And they should know it, that this is hurting the whole North. And PDP should know that if they really want to get the whole North, this is not how to do opposition.
Okay.
They should go and learn how to do opposition. This is hurting. They should know it.
Okay.
We are praying for the release of any other one, and those who have died, I pray God will console their parents. They should know that it's hurting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for the records, Chibok, 1,438 days going. Dapchi, 36 days. So it's not about how quick these Dapchi girls were recovered or returned. It's more about what we see when things like this come out. And we are in the process of taking it home. So you were building up to something.
Mr. Hussein.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition between the kidnap in Chibok and that of Dapchi.
There's the Demola in London. Let's quickly take him. Demola, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. And also good morning to your panelists, Mr. Kade and Mr. Hassan.
Good morning.
My contribution, you see, we have a very difficult situation on our hands. The people that you're saying are calling and saying all different kind of things, they are all coming out saying all these things because there's not enough information out there for people to be able to make their opinion. The federal government needs to step up their information strategy, and they should be able to. When they said the Dapchi girls were returned, I haven't seen any videos, any pictures of all the trucks that came to deliver those girls. Are we saying we cannot plant secret cameras? We had the information that the Dapchi girls were going to be returned. So the intelligence that we had, there was no need for them to plant secret cameras everywhere to be able to capture the release of those girls. We need to step up our security and information technology.
Yeah, except that, my brother, you are in London. I'm sure you know how the MI5 will work, or like the CIA in America will work. They won't come out to tell you this is what we have done, right, wrong.
Well, that's right. That's intelligence. They keep up their game.
Yeah, but we bought the first part of your submission. Government must do more by informing the people. Don't let people keep guessing, and so on. Yeah. Thank you for calling. Yeah, let's begin to take it home. Yeah.
Mr. Hussein, you see the difference between the abduction in Chibok and that of Dapchi has to do with two governments, the PDP government and APC government. The APC government is much more responsive and responsible. That was why they were able to have the students back.
You are not campaigning for the APC.
I'm not campaigning for APC.
We say government is a continuum.
But what is very clear, I'm an unapologetic member, a card-carrying member of APC.
Okay.
But But what is very clear, I'm not a sycophantic member of APC.
Okay. So, Femi, how do we take it home?
Yes, as we cheer about the return of the Dapchi girls, and of course, some people are commending the response of the government. Some people are also asking, why was it even allowed to happen, that we thought we had learnt our lessons from the abduction of the Chibok girls. Now the girls have been returned by their abductors. What would the government put in place to ensure that schools in the north are safe? There's this Safe School initiative. How far with it? How successful has it been? Because most of the schools are just security around schools in the north in the north are very porous. Not just even in Lagos, we've had abductions in schools, and and this is impeding education, especially the girl child education there in the north. So I think the government needs to step up and do more to ensure that access to education remains open to all.
Many thanks, Femi Akonde, for coming. Halaji Hassan Abdulaziz Sani, I can't thank you enough.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks. Crazy times we're living in, interesting times, times of grave danger and consequence for the country. I said earlier on a program on this station, it is not about an APC solution or a PDP solution. It's about a Nigerian solution to a problem created by Nigerians. Time is of the essence. We are done for today. There's another program tomorrow morning. Please join us bright and early. Bye-bye now.